Alright guys, well I'm back today with another high value optic. This one is made by Pinty, so having this offset mount really comes in handy. This is also a Pinty offset mount. I've actually been using this mount on 3 different rifles and it's been holding 0. It hasn't walked loose, and it also works for a 1-inch tube like this Pinty scope, or you can remove the spacers and it will work for a 30mm tube. So a very versatile mount, and I actually highly recommend this mount just as much as I recommend the scope, so you'll be able to check out that link in the description below as well. Now, when we sent this over to the channel, I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's packed full of a ton of features, so let's talk about those from the back to the front and discuss its performance down at the range. It's got an adjustable diopter to focus everything into your eye. Almost every scope has that, but these guys have some nice knurling to allow you to grab that and adjust it. 4:16 power zoom, and it has a mini throw lever, which is very nice. And the throw is actually very smooth and easy to operate. So overall, very nice on that respect. The 1-inch tube mounts up nicely. I always like to see a 30mm tube when I can, because it allows a little bit better light transmission, and you can see that the light transmission does suffer in an optic like this. Some of the other Pinty optics I reviewed, and another one that I have on the channel, has the 30mm tube, and they've got the etched reticle. They gather light a little bit better, but they are about $100 to $110, where this one is about $57. So you do get what you pay for. What's really nice are these exposed turrets that have some locking rings built in. So the clicks are very audible and tactile, which is nice. They're all labeled up and down. You can adjust this on the fly according to your windage and elevation. It's also got that mil dot reticle with dots that are a mil apart, about 3.6 inches at 100 yards. And then you can return this to battle 0. You unloosen this cap, return this back to 0 at that front dot. Then you can lock it down, and if you need to make adjustments, you unloosen that ring, make your adjustments, and tighten it back down. So very nice features. The illuminated reticle is okay, just okay. If it's dusk out, you can use it. If there's any sunlight whatsoever, it's going to wash out the reticle. Also, the splash of that illumination covers the rim, which is annoying. So I don't even use the illumination, but it is there if you want it for a dusk scenario. This optic comes with a sunshade, which is, again, a very nice touch. It keeps that. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's a Daily Shooter, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Vortex Viper PST Gen 2. Alright, now let's go over some of the details and features. This is a second focal plane scope with an MOA reticle. They also sell it in first focal plane with both MOA and mil dot reticles, but you want to kind of figure exactly what's going to fit your needs the best, because for me, long range shooting, I decided to go with a second focal plane reticle due to the fact that it does not enlarge as I go through my magnification range. So the reticle looks exactly the same on 5 power as it does on 25 power. So if you're shooting longer ranges, that means that the amount of coverage that you're going to have on your target is going to be exactly the same all the way through your magnification range, where in first focal plane, as you adjust your magnification higher and higher, the reticle actually gets bigger and bigger inside your viewing window, and that can cover up more of the target at longer ranges. So you kind of have to balance whether or not you want a first or second focal plane, depending on exactly what you're going to be using it for. Very fine precision shots, you might want to consider second focal plane. And then if you want to be able to see the reticle a little bit larger as you're stretching it out, then you might want to go with first focal plane. Now, this does have an illuminated reticle. It's very nice, it's very bright, it's got several different settings with an off setting in between each setting. So you don't have to bring it all the way back to 0 and then adjust to your magnification range. You can be in setting 9 and then go in between 9 and 8, and it's going to be off, and then go down to 8, and it's going to be on again. And so that's nice. But keep in mind that batteries in optics like this do not last very long. As a matter of fact, I actually left this on by accident for like 2 days, and by the time I grabbed the rifle, it was already dead. Granted, it was probably on the highest setting at that point, but keep some extra batteries around in case you want to, switch that out and use that. This also has a really nice parallax adjustment. Goes all the way from 25 yards all the way out to infinity. So it's set up really nice. Now, this scope is not a cheap scope. This is not a budget scope. This scope right here is meant for those people who really wanted to get into something a little bit more serious. You've been saving your money, you have a really nice rifle, and you don't want to put a cheap scope on it. It's something that you hear a lot of people talk about is having this is a great scope. It really helped me do a lot of shooting. As a matter of fact, I put this on a 308, had it on a 308 for a while, and then I put it on a 6.5, and it worked perfectly for both rifles. I was able to calculate my drop using this. Thank you very much.
What is going on, everybody? Today we are going to be reviewing the BSA has several models of their Sweet 22. Today I'm going to be talking about the one with the adjustable turrets on it. This comes with 3 different turrets. It has a 3 to 9 power scope by 40mm objective with an adjustable focal length from 7.5 yards all the way out to 150 and affinity. This has machined aluminum end caps, so you're not going to be scratching or getting the ends of your lenses dirty or all scraped up. So let's talk about the adjustable turret on here. The BSA Sweet 22 with adjustable turrets comes with 3 turrets. One for a 36 grain, one for a 38 grain, and one for a 40 grain. Right now I have the 38 grain on here, and instead of having quarter MOA adjustments on this scope, it has yardages. So right now it's set at 50 yards. If I wanted to shoot out to 75 yards, I simply turn it to 75. Same goes with 100, 125, 150, and 175. I haven't had a chance to shoot this yet and see how accurate this is to going back to 0, but there will be videos coming up on me doing a thorough test on this scope. It has full elevation and windage of 40 MOA. So I'm really happy with that. What I'm really liking about it is the focal length on it. It's real easy to turn, yet it's firm, so it's going to stay in place. And exactly the same with your magnification. The image quality through this scope is very clear for the price that I paid for this. It's $50, and it comes with the 3 turrets, the end caps. I'm going to quickly talk about the scope mount. It's a Nikon P series scope mount. Unlike the P223, which is a 1-piece scope mount, this is a 2-piece, so it's mounted in 2 different locations. And it's great for the AR instead of having to have it way back. In-depth review of this BSA Sweet 22. So guys, that was a quick overview of the BSA Sweet 22. I hope you enjoyed that. I will be continuing more videos.
Today we're going to be looking at the Ohhunt 4.5 to 18 by 44. It comes with the sunshade and this blast cleaning cloth. Other than that, what's interesting about this optic is that it uses the Zeiss Z1000 reticle. Now, it's not made by Zeiss, obviously, and definitely not at this price. And what's interesting about the reticle, if you're not already familiar with it, is that it's designed for the bullet drop compensation of a 168 grain or 175 grain match bullet. So that's actually very interesting. Apparently you can use the Zeiss website to figure out your bullet drop with this reticle, which is pretty much the selling point of this optic. So on the channel today, we're going to be reviewing this on the following criteria. We're going to be looking at, is it accurate? Does it survive recoil of a 308? We're going to look at the glass quality. You guys are going to see that for yourselves. We're going to see if there's a focus parallax, or the numbers match the distance indicated. We're going to do a box test. We're going to ensure that there's no point of impact change with magnification. We're going to validate how much internal adjustment it has. Actually, one thing interesting to note on this, it does say so 1 click is equal to 1/10 of a mil. That's actually not the case. It's actually in MOA, quarter MOA per click. I figured that out the hard way. So we're going to look at the eye relief, which is 3 to 3.7 inches. For accuracy, great. For recoil, great on the 308. No problems there. Next, we have the glass quality. So that way you'll be fairly satisfied with its optical clarity. So for the glass, we're going to give it a 4 out of 5. Next, we have the focus parallax. Now, it's got this giant flywheel on this thing, which is really convenient because, I mean, even with the flywheel, it's a little bit stiff. So without it, it would be incredibly stiff. And the numbers do match the distance indicated behind the wheel. So we're going to give it a 5 out of 5. Next, we have the turrets. This is one that's a bit more in depth because, I mean, it's necessary. Anyway, let's head outside. Let's see that there's no point of impact change with magnification. It can survive a box test, and we'll validate the amount. Now, one thing you are going to need to know absolutely is that these turrets, as indicated, they're showing in mils, but they are not in mils. The first few times that I was doing the box test, when I was doing that, that's not represented on film, I'd bring the turret to the number 3, which is 3 mils, supposedly. And that would bring me somewhere between what's written on paper for 3 mils. So somewhere about halfway, about 6/10, if you know what I mean. These turrets are actually in MOA. They're not mils. I figured that out after trying 3 or 4 times, and if you turn it 40 clicks, it's exactly where it should be for MOA. So these turrets are in MOA. So for the reasons that this is not in mils, and they're a little bit spongy, we are going to give it a 3 out of 5 for those specific reasons. Other than that, they're fairly good.
Next, we have the eye relief. This optic has a 3-inch to 3.7-inch eye relief, obviously at this highest magnification. I've seen better even from Ohhunt around this price range. Next, we have the fast focus. See you on the next review.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Brando here with Brando Reviews, and today we are checking out this SVBONY SV177 scope right here. It's a 3 to 12 times zoom scope, and it's a 44mm size diameter on this scope. So it's a pretty large scope, and you can see I have the extender on it right now. So it has 2 different colors. It has red and green reticles and 5 different brightness settings of each. So you can change the reticle brightness by changing the dial on the side if you want it to be brightness illuminated for whatever purpose you want. It has a Picatinny mount on the bottom, as you can see right here, and you just screw that onto your gun's mounting rail, Picatinny mount rail. It comes with a 3-inch sunshade, which is what this extension piece is right here, which helps block out some of the sun and UV lights by extending the distance from the end of the glass right here. So that's cool. Different adjustments, which we'll talk about later. HD lens system with the multi-coated optic here and one here. So those are just little protective caps that you can use if you want. But you can just take the cap completely off if you don't want to use them, which I'm going to do for this video, because this cap right here covers your adjustment dial here for your focus ring. So here we go. We're just going to go ahead and show you what is in the box. You can see it says the model number right there, the SV117, 3 to 12 times zoom magnification, 44mm size. And you can see the company that made it, Hong Kong SVBONY technology right there, and the SKU. Nothing really else on the box. We'll go ahead. You have the actual scope itself right here. You can take off these little caps. See them right here, little popping caps. And you can use that to protect it when you're not using it. But they do come completely off, and you'll want to take them completely off to put this on if you want to use the extender that it comes with. Then with this side right here, it has another little pop right here, little protector on it. And overall, I think it's a good unit. I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good one.